like to... I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
Seriously, though.
Sit back.
Here we come, baby.
Pray to your personal God.
Check.
Lord.
This might get hairy.
Smash Brown. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
A sequel has a challenge of walking that line of wanting to, deliver what people expect. There's a tone of Madagascar that's fun and funny.
Come on, where on earth would we go on vacation?
I don't know about you, but I want to go to Connecticut.
First thing you think about is where do we leave our characters, and what would be the next step in their story? What would be the next logical thing to take these characters to a new place based upon what they've already learned and discovered in Madagascar?
Where are we?
San Diego. This time I'm 40% sure.
So from there, we figure, well, let's take them back to the place where at least their species come from, so they can deal with what that may mean to them.
Hey, you're a good-looking crew. Hey, Marty. Hey, Marty. Hey, Marty.
Madagascar was this fantasy land. But Africa, people have seen Africa, and they know what Africa is like. And so we wanted to create an Africa that no one has really seen before and work in the style of Madagascar.
What's totally different is that we went from Madagascar 1, which were walls of dense jungle, to Mad 2, which is a horizon line, the savanna and plains of Africa.
We were lucky enough to go on safari, and it put everything in perspective because you feel very small because this ancient land and these animals, and you just really had a sense of this is a different world.
When you get to Africa, you just realize how big the place is. There's grass and trees and plants that look like, familiar places, but when you get there, it opens up and it feels like you can see the curve of the earth. At that point, we realized, wow, we really need to get the scope to sell Africa in this movie. So how are we going to do that?
Grit and spit and spit. A lot of spit and grit and stick-to-itiveness.
Africa's on a macro scale, it's very simple. It's a horizon line with sky and grass. But on a micro level, it's very complex and sophisticated.
The landscapes, we had to develop a whole grass system. You see the grass moving in the wind. We really wanted to capture that.
The grass is very difficult because, well, basically the computer has to generate every single blade of grass, and that becomes just a lot of data to handle.
But not only do you have to create the grass, because you can plant all the grass and the grass looks good, but it also has to move. And it also has to, compact under footprints. And when you have a herd of zebras running through, 3-foot-tall savanna grass, it gets really challenging.
And also, we brought just a thick dust to everything at that point. And every time the crowd moves around, you can see that it's just dust.
So we have crowd dust, we have ambient dust, which is kind of the dust that hangs out in the air. We have foot dust, we have plane crashing dust, we have grit. There's like a million different types of dust that we discovered are out there. And I think we found most of them.
Welcome to the herd, Marty. Me in the herd?
Big challenge on this movie was the crowds.
Herds of zebras, herds of hippos,
Pride of lions. So it's a lot of animals.
I think we built maybe 12 different types of animals, lots of variation. So just in terms of the amount of characters we've had to build up, that's kind of huge.
We've recruited a few extra thumbs for you, Skipper.
In the case of the monkeys, we needed to create this impression of mayhem, like it's complete chaos. And therefore we needed a lot of variety in those animations. The choreography of it got very, very tricky because you also want to direct the attention of the audience to what's important. So those were probably our trickiest choreographies with the crowd system.
More difficult difficult for us sometimes is getting our characters to pop off of these big masses of animals. You know, zebras are designed with black and white stripes for a very specific reason, and that's so when they're running in a herd, you can't pick out one from the other one.
Excuse me, is Marty in there?
So when we stick Marty in a herd of zebras, it's like, wait, which one's Marty?
Sometimes I get mixed up as well. I'd be grabbing the wrong zebra. And, oh, that's not Marty. It's zebra A25.
I always thought I was a little bit unique.
Sometimes we'd make Marty pop off by featuring him with a little bit more light. Sometimes we'd darken the other zebras just a little bit with dust or dirt, or drop them out of focus a little bit to try to bring Marty out.
I think what really helps the emotional quality of the film is our facial animation system, because it does allow the subtle movement of the face. It's based on how real humans have their face set up.
The eyes really reveal what the character's thinking. So we really start with what's inside the character's head. We express that through the eyes, and then that ripples through to the body language. The face is just so vital, you know, and so expressive. The eyebrows are just the most expressive tool we have. Reference footage is really important for us. We film all the actors doing their lines. We don't go copy what they do, but we do sort of use it for inspiration. We also shoot our own reference footage of the animators.
So we'll have mirrors up, or we'll go to rooms where we can shoot video reference, and we'll try and act things out and really see if we can feel the emotion internally.
And then once they find something they're happy with, they can bring it to the directors as a really quick way of kind of exploring the possibilities of a scene.
Coming up with dance moves for them has been really, really fun. There's a lot of dancing in the movie, it turns out. It was really fun trying to find different dance styles for Alex and Gloria and Marty and Melman, because they're such different characters. They have their own personality.
Alex is definitely much more of a performer in this film. We're really pushing the idea that he's just naturally a gifted performer. He loves to get up, dance, and do whatever he can to sort of gain admiration.
But it's only fair to warn you that I am a protege of Foxy and Robbins.
The dance sequence was fantastic, and we did a lot of research into Fosse style dancing, and we looked at West Side Story and a few other types of things.
It was fun to do as an animated dancer because I didn't actually have to do it. I could just give the ooh, ah, ba-dee-ba, ooh,
Julian was a blast. He's just so dramatic. He just loves being the center of attention. And so for him, all we do animation-wise is just really push it. Everything he does is, he strikes a pose. It's kind of like the difference between Julian and Alex is Alex performs for the people and he gets really excited, and Julian performs for himself. And he's just like, bah, I dig you, yeah!
Gloria is actually very, very sensual with her movement, so getting that to come out in her body language was really fun.
Because she loves The most challenging sequence for us, we call it Gloria's Date, but it's where Gloria and Moto are dancing in this sort of hippo pool. And it was this incredible, sort of union of movement and dance and rhythm. And we wanted to include some of that sort of feel into this move. It turned out to be a really, really difficult sequence to get just right. I think, we really nailed it. She loves it.
We're really, really lucky to have Will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas come and join our music team on this movie.
Feeling out of place, really feeling strange. Take me to a place where they know my name.
Hans did an amazing job on the first movie. He just blows me away. So putting Hans together with Will right away defines a whole other sound.
One of the things he brought to the party was that he just has this incredible sense of adventure and fun. Just hearing that changed the whole landscape for me straight away, and I instantly realized, hang on, this is going to be really good.
Play a little you dance. So the traveling song, I got a track from Hans Zimmer. So I listened to it, and then I just thought of my life. So I wanted to have an interaction between a person's perspective of always traveling, not really knowing what home is. Outside of working on the film. I'm a fan of the film. So I'm like, you're going to change the movie? You can't. The movie, it's going to be in it. And they were like, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Y'all know this one? It never gets stale. We like to.
That song is part of the film. And this new piece that Hans did to it with percussion and stuff just paints it a different color, and that's pretty awesome.
We party cause we born to party. We gon' move our bodies with our hands in the air and wave them all around like we just don't care. Ho, 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 ho. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Somebody say move it, move it. That's dope. It should be fast like that, dude. It shouldn't be like move it. It should be like that. That's dope.
I'm always stuck in this dark room, you know, it's the movie in front of me. And him coming in, it's like sunshine coming in. It's exciting. It's like, you know, he brings the world with him. It's fantastic.
I like to move it, move it.
He likes to move it, move it.
She likes to move it, move it. We like to move it.
There was this great sense of a team that we already had.
Who says a penguin can't fly?
We had this opportunity to look at what we did on the first movie and say, well, how can we take what we loved, do it again, and then go even further?
We're just fortunate enough to have such talented, technical, and creative people. With all these minds on it, they came up with solutions where they kept pushing and creating everything you think is too big to ask for. They'll come back and say, we can do it, which is a dream come true, you know, for us.